James City 25, 76, Battalion 3, EMS 1, Medic 51, Engine 51, Rescue 2. Vehicle accident, Jamestown High School, 3751 John Tyler Highway. We responded to a two-vehicle accident, head-on collision with airbag deployment. Callers reporting one patient trapped, one patient ejected, possibly deceased. Nothing further at this time.
76 copies.
What happened?
Ashton. Look.
Oh my gosh.
Did I do that?
Nothing like that? No surgeries or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna run you through a couple balancing tests. The first test is gonna be the one-legged stand, okay? What you're gonna do is you put
This is James City Medic 51 on the ear.
So Jared is here, go ahead.
This is Paramedic Ben again. We're coming today with the 18-year-old female patient. Patient was involved in a front-end motor vehicle accident with heavy damage. Patient was entrapped in the vehicle and had to be removed. Patient's in and out of consciousness, and when she is conscious, ANO times 3. Patient stated when she was conscious that she couldn't feel her legs. Patient has a 3-inch laceration to her forehead. No other injuries or deformities noted to the rest of her body. Current vitals are as follows. Pulse is 71. BP is 90/62. SpO2 is 100% on room air. Got a 1,000 bag going. Do you have any further questions or orders?
C collar in place.
C collar in place.
Can you repeat your last?
Do they have a C collar in place?
10-4. Patient is in a C collar and backboarded.
10-4, bed 22 on arrival.
10-4. Medic 51 clear.
One person was dead from the other vehicle. She was trapped in the vehicle she was in. Want to evaluate and take everything off of her. From that point, when she is this. Yes, perfect. All right. You just said your legs are bugging, or you can't feel your legs.
Yep.
All right. Deep breath in.
Court come to order, all rise. Judge Smalls presiding.
Virginia. I want to take you to a classroom at Jamestown High School. It's in the same classroom, and there are about 25 desks there. Students are coming in, slowly taking their seats. They're talking about the footloose play that happened earlier over the weekend. They're showing each other pictures of their animals and dogs that they took on walks in Formula Williamsburg. They're talking about their plans for upcoming prom night. The scanner walks in and asks everyone to take a seat, but one of those desks is empty. No one's going to sit there. And that desk is the spot of Jordan Lampen, a senior at Jamestown High School. And it will sit empty for the rest of the year. Another desk has had to be moved for a wheelchair, and that's the wheelchair of Haley Shearer, who's in the courtroom today. He will never play another game of soccer in her life. Why is that desk gone? Why is Haley in a wheelchair? It is because of the choices that defendant Anna Lawson made on the night where she drank alcohol and got behind the wheel of a car. Anna's choices caused the crash that killed Jordan. Anna's choices caused the crash that maimed Haley. We're here on the sentencing for involuntary manslaughter and DUI maiming. And I'm not here to undermine the good that has happened in the life of the defendant so far. She's involved at school, she's on the O crew, but her youth and her goodness meant nothing when she chose to drink and drive on that evening. That good does not absolve the serious consequences of the choices she made to get behind the wheel of the car after drinking and taking into her hands the lives of those in that car with her and those on the road that night. Now, you were free to choose in this life, but you were not free from the consequences of those choices. And I want to walk through the choices that Anna made that night when she got in that car. First, she made the choice to go to Chickahominy Riverfront Park for a party, a seemingly innocuous choice. But while she was there, she made a second choice, and that was to consume alcohol underage. Her third choice, that was to drink to the point of being impaired. Alcohol impacts your ability to judge space, time, and distance, and it impacts your ability to operate machinery. It impacts your ability to operate the car. And her fourth choice was a choice to get behind the wheel of the car. And she did not get into that car alone. That's her fifth choice. She got into that car actually with her boyfriend, Ashton Hart, putting his life at risk. Her sixth choice is she chose to drive on the highways of James City County in the wrong direction on the road where she ultimately collided head-on into Jordan Lambert and Haley. Jordan is gone. Haley's life is permanently altered, and the choices the defendant made that night have serious consequences, fatal consequences that will shatter this community for decades to come. Immediately, that loss is felt by the parents who had to receive a phone call that night telling them their son had died on the side of the road. Mr. and Mrs. Landon lost a child. They lost a future. And you hear parents describe a child as your heart walking outside of your body. The hope for the future of that child is so great. And Jordan was so great. He was on the football team, he was on an O crew, he was a nest leader, he was going to college. And now none of that will happen because of the choices that the defendant made. But Jordan is not the only person impacted. And his family is not the only person impacted. The loss of Haley is also great. She will never walk again. She won't be playing for soccer in college. She won't be walking around Colonial Williamsburg or Jamestown Beach. She forever will be bound in a wheelchair. And neither Haley nor Jordan were drinking that night. But the defendant was drinking. Her BAC was a .12. That's well over the legal limit. And her behavior is the direct cause for why Jordan's desk in Mrs. Hayden's classroom is now empty and Haley will never walk again. That is why the Commonwealth is asking that the court sentence her to apprehend the guidelines in this case.
And it sounds like up until you made a very poor choice, very poor decision on this particular day, that you had lived an exemplary life. And, the court obviously gives you credit for that. But the reality of the situation is this. Jordan, Haley, have suffered immensely. Their families have suffered immensely. Based off the charges that have been presented here today, the court is going to sentence you towards the high end of the guidelines. You are going to serve a total of 10 years in the Virginia Department of Corrections. Upon your release, you will be on probation for an additional 10-year period.